Live. All right. Hello, everybody. This is my second episode of my VeChain podcast. So, today we're going to be discussing, I'd say, probably one of the largest partnerships slash projects in the blockchain space. This came out last night. I guess, yeah, it was like last night. It's about 3 in the morning U.S. time. It was, I think, 4 o'clock in Shanghai. But essentially, VeChain, together with ASI Group and DNVGL, are. Ah, shit. Announcing their first cross continental logistics and trade solution based on public blockchain for food and beverage industry of the second Chinese International Import Expo. So this is an absolute huge deal. Not only were President Macron of France and President Jinping of China in attendance, but they also were eating this pork, these meat products that were tracked on the blockchain, VeChain's blockchain, from France to China. Uh, they can verify with the VeChain's toolchain that the products are good, and both presidents got to uh, taste the products. It wasn't just the presidents too. There was a bunch of industry leaders that also got to taste it. But before we get into that, let's talk about the background here. So this is a Medium article that I'm reading straight from the VeChain Foundation. There hasn't been too many press releases yet from some big mainstream media outlets, but I assume they're going to come because this is a really big deal. So it says VeChain, the leading enterprise-friendly public blockchain platform, attended the CIIE, which I'm going to use for China International Import Expo. This is the second one, by the way. Last year was the first, and it was held from November 5th to November 10th. So it's still going on. But it's a major CIEE 2019's major initiative of the Chinese government to give firm support to trade liberalization and economic globalization and actively open the Chinese market to the world. So this is part of, I think it's a Chinese 5-year plan. Every 5 years they set a new goal of what they want to get done, and I think part of their newest 5-year plan was to expand their global market, expand their global presence in the economy, and this is definitely one of part of it. This is one of their main ways because I know France, their exports have increased. I can't remember exactly. I think it's in this article. I'll talk about it later. But so this event had more than 3,000 companies from over 150 countries and regions, including 250 of the Fortune 500 companies. Well, that's insane. Those are the big names right there. So the companies they list are Qualcomm, Panasonic, LVMH, which is Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, Samsung, and Bombardier. I'm not sure what Bombardier is. I'll have to look it up. Um, but then they talk about a little background from last year's CIIE, where VeChain showcased various blockchain solutions to potential enterprise customers and government officials. So this was them just showing off their solutions, what they're capable of doing, and that was last year, 2018. This year, they came together with DNVGL and ASI Group in a tripartite collaboration to create the first cross-continental logistics and trade solution powered by the VeChain Thor public blockchain for food and beverage industry named FoodGates. So FoodGates is a connection between multiple different businesses in collaboration, VeChain, DNVGL, which is an accreditor firm, and ASI, which does a lot of supply chain and global imports work. Um, and it says right here that it's the first of its kind, and it's the first to be powered by a public blockchain, which of course is VeChain, with verified and certified information of the full life cycle of the products being tracked, such as from cow selection, slaughtering, packing, cross-continental shipping, all the way to the restaurants for beef products. This is what I find to be the most interesting part of this. Um, the entire life cycle is being tracked on the blockchain, every single bit of it, and that's being done by VeChain's toolchain, which is essentially them placing NFC chips into their food products to make them verifiable. You can scan the QR and see the entire life cycle of the product. So this obviously came out. I guess it was late. I guess it was very very early morning today, Thursday. Um, it was like 3 a.m. So November 7th is when it came out. But the actual press conference was organized by France-China Committee, which is government run, which belongs to the Mouvement des Entreprises de France, which is some France. It's a leading network of entrepreneurs in France with more than 750,000 member firms. So that's pretty big. Um, so before this VeChain conference, when they announced this was the opening day, November 5th of the CIIE. French President Emmanuel Macron attended the opening ceremony of CIIE and discussed various ways to push pragmatic cooperation with his Chinese counterpart, President Xi Jinping, on this 55th anniversary of China-France diplomatic relations. Um, and then it says, meanwhile, President Xi Jinping and the Chinese delegation had like a tasting session of some of the beef that came from France that was introduced by President Macron. Um, this meat has been imported thanks to the first cross-continental logistics and trade solution, Food Gates, which is based on VeChain Thor blockchain jointly developed by ASI Group, ND, and VGL. So, um, this is really big for one point because Xi Jinping, I believe it was the day after Mark Zuckerberg was testifying in front of Congress, talking about his Libra, his digital currency Libra. Um, Xi Jinping basically said, we are going to adopt blockchain. We see it as revolutionary technology. We're increasing investments into it. We're increasing education into it. And what do you know? A week or two afterwards, they release this massive platform that's going to be used for imports into China to track food from other countries. Um, so they say VeChain, being a global blockchain technology platform provider with significant resources in China and Europe, will be a direct beneficiary of this bullish shift by the second largest economy in the world. So this was probably, as coming from an investor standpoint, if you're someone that holds VET or VTHOR or whatever, this was probably uh, the most bullish quote from the entire Medium article that they post, just because they're acknowledging the fact that now that VeChain's working with these two governments, two massive governments, it's the second largest economy and I believe the seventh largest economy. Um, they're essentially saying this is legitimizing us. This is we're now part of the bigger picture that's going to continue to go forward, creating this ecosystem between countries to not only make it safer for consumers to eat food, but also make it uh, a better platform to track goods all over the world. So it'll save money for businesses and it'll be healthier for consumers. So it's a win-win. Um, so according to France 24, which is a news outlet, China is currently the seventh largest trading partner of France, having imported French goods accounting for 24.5 billion in 2018, and the bilateral trade volume between China and France surpassed 60 billion US dollars, hitting record high last year and will continue to increase. So as you can see, China and France are really trying to work on their relations here because their imports are skyrocketing. They are going to continue to do trade together, and I think this whole initiative using the blockchain to track the goods will just only increase it. Now that they have a way to ensure that the products being brought into China are legitimate, that they're good, they're safe, I believe that we're going to continue to see 60 billion get destroyed within the next couple of years. It's going to double, triple. We're going to see absurd imports going into China from France. Um, so after this, in the article went into a little bit of what ASI Group is. So that's one of the three businesses that are working on the Food Gates platform together. So ASI Group is logistics. It specializes in logistics, supply chain, import solutions, and global trade, providing value-added applications built to suit solutions and covering over 180 countries. So ASI Group is doing. I assume their job is we're the ones connecting the actual global trade solution. They're the ones figuring out, okay, how is this going to work? VeChain is a platform, the underlying platform, and D and VGL is doing the assurance, the business assurance, making sure all the businesses are up to par. So this Food Gates platform, which is the official name of this collaboration between three businesses. So Food Gates aims to provide a world premium trusted blockchain powered platform for international buyers and consumers of high-end food and beverage products, safeguarding product quality and safety. On November 6th, Food Gates, business to business and F&B digital platform linking French producers and Chinese professional buyers, entered into an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, with the Henan Pilot Free Trade Zone to kick off the collaboration to import food products from France to the FTZ. Um, I'm not sure what FTZ is, but the Henan Pilot Free Trade Zone, I'm pretty sure that's just an area where businesses can, uh, shit. Alright, so next, it starts to talk about the co-founder of Food Gates, Mathieu Bourget. He actually quoted Macron and said, "French savors pair well with Chinese taste," which I think was just something that he said during his speech at the first day of CIIE. And then the co-founder of Food Gates added, "We developed a solution which connects the best of French products to Chinese buyers. We know that traceability and authenticity are essential when it comes to food and beverage products. Our blockchain-powered platform is aimed at bringing transparency and traceability to the French-Chinese business-to-business market while enabling French producers to access the great Chinese market faster and safer." This is really important because now French businesses have a way to transport their items, their products to China, knowing that they're going to get there safely and they won't have any reason to have to worry about the whole supply chain. And not only because, well, there's someone in the middle, there's the whole food traceability solution, but it's also, it's sponsored by the French government and the Chinese government. Um, so next it talks about blockchain expertise and development teams from VeChain provided comprehensive technical support from underlying public blockchain protocol, smart contracts, the VeChain toolchain APIs for docking to the consultant services for business systems. This business need-oriented yet agile approach gives VeChain huge competitive advantages in the enterprise blockchain space. DNVGL will assure that the scale trade platform's rules are defined for all producers and their products, ensuring that transparent and consistent data are logged onto the VeChain Thor public blockchain. So this was a really interesting part of the article because it's essentially saying VeChain's role and what they did in the creation of this platform. And it sounds like they were a massive role. I mean, they're using their APIs for docking to the consulting services for business systems. So it sounds like all of the businesses that are involved in this platform will be going through a VeChain API of some sort. And it reminisces with a quote from Sonny that he said, I believe it was at the VeChain Summit in 2019. He said everything is connected, and he said people won't realize that they're using the blockchain literally every day, and I think this is part of it. People will be scanning products. Eventually, it'll just be custom that when you go to the grocery store and you want to purchase some food, some meat product, you're going to want to make sure that it's safe. You're going to want to make sure that it's not old. And you're going to scan the QR code, and it's going to give you the entire life cycle of that food, and from that, you'll be able to decide whether or not you want to buy it. I think within the next decade, that will be custom, not only in China, but in the United States. I feel like now that the United States sees that France and China are moving forward with a plan like this, they're going to say, okay, we have to innovate. This is something we have to work on now. So next is a quote from Kevin Fang, the CEO of VeChain. He said, "VeChain is committed to adopting blockchain technology to power the real economy, and it has been a privilege to jointly develop this cross-continental logistics and trade solution with ASI Group and DNVGL. The immutability of public blockchain coupled with verifiable information makes this solution really unique and provides an additional level of trust for the consumers. We see the massive potential of this collaboration as the products are reaching out to an enormous food market in China." So Kevin Fang offering some information about the scale of this. I mean, this is easily the biggest collaboration that VeChain has seen with businesses and governments. But I would go as far to say that it's probably the biggest that any blockchain business, any cryptocurrency business has seen. This is true business adoption. This is government adoption. This is something that is going to become more common going into the next couple of years. Specifically, if we see like another bull market, uh, I think that speculation will run wild, and it'll be similar to the 2017 bubble. Um, so now we're just going to talk about the actual food was from. All right, let's see. Foodgates empowers a wide variety of products, including renowned labels, including the Concours General, Agricole. So it's just a bunch of French products that they tried at the. So here, there's a picture of French ribeye and beef ribs, um, and then they have a couple pictures of, I guess, just information that you would find on the application when you're using it. Maybe it talks about certifications. Label Rouge, officially endorsed by the French authorities, certifies that a product has a specific set of characteristics, establishing a superior level. To obtain this recognition, a very stringent set of standards establish the criteria which the product must meet throughout the production chain, including farming techniques, feed, processing, and distribution. So Label Rouge is essentially just going to be saying that this product is top quality, and it goes through a vetting process to make sure it's going to be remaining top quality through the supply chain. DNVGL is a renowned certification body in food safety, quality, and traceability. The mark signifies trust in the product and its transparent journey. So DNVGL is the accreditor. They've been around since late 1800s. It's a very old business. I think they're out of Norway, maybe. But they're a strategic partner with VeChain, so they do a lot of work with VeChain. And then, of course, information is registered using VeChain toolchain on the VeChain Thor blockchain. So it says, following the announcement during the CIIE press conference, gourmet dinner will be co-hosted by ASI Group, VeChain, and DNVGL to provide first-hand experience of the blockchain-powered trusted platform for food. So this part's cool. Over 50 distinguished guests have been invited, including government officials, journalists from both French and Chinese news outlets, and executives from industries across retail, supermarkets, meat producers, hotels, and all of them will be served with beef and pork imported from France on the Foodgates platform. So a bunch of important individuals, essentially, will be trying out this platform live. They're going to test out the beef and pork that was imported from France and tracked on the blockchain. So for someone that's a VeChain holder, this is really exciting stuff. People will know what this platform is because some of the most important people in government will know what it is. Media will know what it is, and it's going to circulate, and people will start to respect the name VeChain, and they'll understand that it's more than just a cryptocurrency. This is a fully fledged business with business adoption occurring. Um, so this was talking about. It says October 2019. So this was when, I guess it was like the day after or 2 days after Zuckerberg was in front of Congress. Xi Jinping said he underscored the importance of blockchain and technological innovation and industrial transformation. And then they say the adoption of VeChain blockchain technology is facing unprecedented market opportunities, which greatly cemented this blockchain-powered partnership. Obviously, it's an incredibly bullish statement for people to hold VeChain. Um, VeChain will stick to our vision, which has always been powering and creating business value to the real economy, with the market maturing and evolving and interest towards blockchain adoption at an all-time high. There will be even more use cases developed by the VeChain Thor public blockchain in the near future. So obviously, this is just the ending of the article, essentially saying we're not done. This is, if I believe at the VeChain summit, there was a picture that Sunny had on stage that showed the like the time frames of what we could expect. They're very broad, but 2020 to like 2024 is the growth stage. Previous to this was the regulatory clarity type stage. So now that we're moving into the growth stage, I have a feeling that, well, first of all, a lot of NDAs will expire. There will be businesses coming out and saying, hey, we have a proof of concept or an MOU that we're working with VeChain and we're producing this product. That's going to become much more common. We're also going to see increase in transactions as things start to go live. This product, or the uh, the Foodgates product will be live beginning of 2020, I believe, which is actually almost perfect timing for many things, because I believe that Walmart China is increasing their products on the blockchain at the end of 2019. So it's almost going to be like Walmart's going to come back online with more products, and then Foodgates is going to come online early 2020. Also, DNVGL are offering their clients wallets to hold cryptocurrency assets and to put their documents and information on the blockchain, on VeChain Thor blockchain. And so they're offering, I think it's going to be 900,000 wallets that are all created from businesses that DNVGL is going to be the certifier of, and they're going to be able to store cryptocurrency assets. Um, so at at this point, I'm going to pull up. Let's see. So this was one of the pictures that, if you're listening to the podcast, I'll just kind of explain it. I'm going to read from it. But essentially, I believe Waza posted this. He's just someone in the VeChain community that does really good work. Gets the latest news as fast as possible. So this picture, it's a slide that was, I guess, at the beginning of the presentation. It says innovation in agri-food sector from French producers to Chinese dinner tables, the world premiere of the first Chinese-French business-to-business food and beverage public blockchain ecosystem. And it has the VeChain logo, DNVGL, and it has a list of other groups involved. And then there's an arrow pointing towards Choose France TM, which is obviously the government-sponsored way of getting people. Choose France is like one of those things you'll see advertisements for. Hey, come to France because we have this, we have this. So Choose France was sponsoring this, and on the left side it shows Choose France. The platform is the platform is being used by Choose France, and then on the right side, the picture has Choose France above President Xi Jinping and President Macron, trying out this pork and beef that was tracked on the blockchain using VeChain and their new initiative. So I thought that was really interesting. That was something really cool. When that first came out, it basically certified that this is the real deal. And then let's see if I can open up another picture. So yeah, this one. This is just interesting because they were talking. This is the actual Foodgates platform. This was posted on LinkedIn. So they talked about how their co-founder introduced the platform, and said that the product is going live at the beginning of 2020, and they also said that there's more to come tomorrow. So there's still a lot more news that's going to be heard that we're waiting on. Hopefully there's going to be more technical information about actual numbers. We need to see how much information is being put on the blockchain. What are we? How many imports? What are the percentages of the pork and beef that are going to be put on the blockchain that are imported into China from France? So these are the numbers that we're going to be looking at because that's what's going to drive the transactions to increase, which is obviously part of the entire VeChain economics. So I'd say that's probably about it. I apologize for last podcast. I said I was using VeChain Insider for some information, and I said that it was Ben York's website. It's actually not Ben York's website. I'm not sure whose website it is. Ben York's website is VeChain 101, which I will be using in the future because it's also a great source of information. But I just wanted to clarify that VeChain Insider isn't Ben York's website, and that was a mishap on my part. Also, this is only my second podcast. I'm trying to get better. If I stutter a lot, that's just because I'm trying to find things to say. I'm not the best at staying busy, keep continuing to talk, so I'm still working on that, but I plan to get better over time. And just a shameless plug, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter account is rcryptocast. I don't think you need it to be capital, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, rcryptocast is my Twitter account. The actual name is Rowan Cryptocast. So if you could throw some follows there, I'm going to be posting when my podcasts are coming out, etc. So you'll be able to see that if you're interested. So that's about it, and I think we're going to end it here. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next episode.